Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ideanthro. Now, one of the things that I want to be able to do with these videos that I'm making for you is to show little innovations or where people are trying things that are a little bit different to evolve and to grow this thing that we know as water-sensitive urban design. And today is one of those days. So today we are looking at some street trees that Brisbane City Council have been installing, where they're trying to take a normal street tree and make it a little bit more water sensitive, or in Brisbane City Council's terms, water smart. So what are they doing? Well, they're taking a standard street tree, and I'll spin this around so I can show you this. They're taking a standard street tree, such as this, so tree, garden bed below it, pretty new, it's only been in for a couple of years. They're taking a standard tree like this, and they are, I'll try not to get run over by the traffic, installing, you see a little pipe there. They are installing, and a wander around, I'm just being really careful of traffic today because this is a main road. They're installing a pipe that connects from the gutter to a slotted ag pipe that wraps around the tree underneath the soil. So underneath all the plants in the soil there, wraps around the tree and connects back to the curb. So what happens is you get rainy days like today and you get water flowing down the gutter like this, and I'm just waiting for a break in the traffic to jump out and show you. You get water flowing down the gutter like this, and it can run into the pipe connection. I'll do it now. It can run into this pipe connection here. It wraps around, getting out of the way of the car. It wraps around through the ag pipe around the tree beneath the soil, and then connects back into another subsoil connection. One sec, we'll let these couple of cars go. So, comes in via this pipe here, water's flowing down the curb, wraps around through the tree, and then connects back into the gutter here via this pipe. So what they're aiming to do is be able to capture just a little bit of water as it flows down the street, and to use that to water the tree, passively irrigate the tree, stop a little bit of water from getting to our creeks and causing erosion in large amounts. Generally just trying to prevent the effects of urbanisation on our waterways, but to do it in a way that's relatively low cost. Because you can imagine, I'll spin this back around, if you're installing this system, you've already decided to install the tree, you've already decided to dig the hole, you've already decided to put all the plants in. Those costs are all fixed, right? All they're really doing here is adding the price of cutting through the curb, installing the ag pipe, and cutting through the curb again and sealing it all up. So it's pretty low cost on top of what the tree would already be. And the aim for council was to make this so appealing that the street tree teams would just do it automatically on any particular job, rather than, if you think about a bioretention street tree, really, there's lots of infrastructure that needs to go beneath. It's really quite costly. You're not just going to do that on every job. It requires a lot more planning up front. With these self-watering street trees, they wanted to make it so that just every street tree, the automatic default would be to install this pipe. So, I reckon the idea is really good. What about when it comes to application? Well, for me, there were always a couple of concerns with the application that you'd need to get right if this was going to work. One of them was, can you get the inlet to actually work so that water doesn't just run straight down the curb, it runs into the system itself. I'll show you that in a second. I think they've got that nailed. Problem number two was, well, is fine sediment running down the curb? Because if we look here in the gutter, right, you can see the fine sediment that runs down the curb right there in the gutter. Is the fine sediment running down the gutter going to get into, or coarse sediment for that matter, is that going to get into the inlet of the street tree, and is it going to cause it to block up? That's a real one. On these particular street trees, I'll go back up in a minute. I'm just hiding in this bus shelter for a bit of dry just for a second, mainly to protect the camera. There's some challenges with that sediment getting in there. I'll go back up in a second and show you that there is some sediment accumulating in these. But Brisbane City Council, and it's not installed on this system unfortunately, I'll make another video in the future to show you, but they have been working on something which has been described to me as being a bit like a tea strainer that kind of goes in the inlet pipe to capture the coarse, that coarse material and that debris as it gets in, and then the maintenance crews can simply come along, pull that strainer out by hand, shake out all the coarse material, it's cleaned out the inlet, and you put the strainer back in. Really quite simple to clean out. And the third thing that I thought you need to get right with these systems is, are they going to continue to drain over time? Is the distribution pipe going to block up? Now, I don't know the answer to that yet. These are only a couple of years old, and I think someone would need to get out here with a pipe camera to check that out. But you know, a couple of my concerns are being, I think, reasonably well answered. So let's wander back up to the tree and we'll take a look at those two things. So, heading back up here, wow, it's really noisy in the bus shelter. It really kind of echoes around in there. I hope you could hear what we were just talking about. Otherwise, you're going to get a couple of minutes of me just, you know, miming at the camera essentially. Okay, so the first thing was, does water actually get into the inlet? Well, I was looking at this inlet's a bit blocked up, but I can see, it's hard to pick it up on the video, but the effect of there's definitely water with this, you know, water running down the curb, definitely wanting to turn and get into that inlet pipe. So I'm pretty confident that that's happening, no worries. The second thing is, does dirt accumulate? Yes, there is some. I hope that you can see it in there. Some has accumulated. So I think the fact that BCC are responding with this tea strainer is a good idea. I'll really be keen to get out and see one in action in the rain, or even in the dry, just to see how much they're collecting, to get a bit of an idea of how successful that's been. But I think the fact that they're responding with an idea is a good thing. Okay, let's get this done. It's really nice and wet. I hope you found that interesting. I'm really excited about this idea, and I reckon that if BCC keeps working on this hard like they are, they'll be able to iron out those kinks and make it work just perfectly. Okay, sweet. That's it for this episode of Ideanthro. If you like what it is that we're doing, you can find more Ideanthro in a few different ways. You can find us online at facebook.com/Ideanthro. You can find us at ideanthro.com /episodes. We'll get you to the episodes page where all our videos are. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. If you've got a question about any of our videos, or a question about water-sensitive urban design that you want us to discuss, by all means, hit us up on one of those sites, one of those methods, and we'll do our best to make a video and answer it. Sweet, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.